No longer are we beholden to the past. A new era is upon us. This is our time. This is Mortal Kombat!
And here we go.
It's the comic book bullies.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
It's the comic book bullies.
You will bow down before me!
It's the comic book bullies.
Now I am the master.
It's the comic book bullies. It's the comic book bullies. Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies. Notice new bully. I'm your host Leroy, aka the hand that rocks the cradle. Oh, that's not Leroy. I don't think so. No. It's coming through.
No,
You were screwing with me this time, but that's okay.
yeah, this is Eli, aka Leon Ardo.
Are we talking about that?
We could.
We are. I think I have a list of it. Oh, hey, I'm here. I told you I was gonna screw it up again.
Yeah.
One of these days I figured out. So yeah. So like I said, I'm here, Eli here, and last but not least, the AI is here.
The AI.
We
We should give it a name. We should give it a name like C3,
like Hal
D2.
or some shit, or Hal 9000.
C3D2 or something.
We're gonna name the AI. We're gonna take
R2PO or something.
Who's the guy talking? Oh, we were like, it was like the ventriloquist. Like Eli was up, but I was talking. They're like, "Hi, my name is Eli. How are you?" Anyway.
Like a kung fu, like a badly dubbed kung fu flick.
I will fight for my sister honor.
I was
You
just looking
will
for some
fight
rice cakes.
Anyway, let's get to the show. We
You
got a whole
bastard.
lot of show. I'll never forgive you. Anyway, we got a whole lot of show. Let's get to it. First off, let's get to the first thing I want to get to, because a big thing. You know what? We're going to expand the podcast a little bit, Eli, because we talk about a lot of stuff on the podcast, but we'll talk about even more stuff when we normally talk about. And first thing we're going to talk about is so sexy, the iPhone 15. Yeah, the reason I want to talk about the iPhone 15, I know. Now we're gonna put our name in the spot right now. We're going to draw a line in the sand. I want everybody to name what do you claim? What set do you claim? Android or Apple?
Oh, I got
everybody claim one.
I got an Android. I don't have.
You got Android? Okay.
I don't have it. I don't have an iPhone because I'm not a 17-year-old girl. So.
Well, because they say that the iPhones are sexy. It's sexy. That's the thing, but
yeah.
You got to be.
I don't
FaceTime.
FaceTime. I don't do any of that shit. You're lucky you got me doing this shit.
I'm just saying, because you got to pull out the phone. With somebody calling you. With your FaceTime. But here's the thing about it. You know what they added to the new iPhone, Eli? That's why I'm doing the tech news right now. Not yet. No, nothing that extravagant. No, that would be too much for them. This is what they added to the iPhone. They added the charger that you already use.
Oh,
that's
really?
What they added.
Yeah. Okay. Because I always heard that's a pain in the ass.
Yeah. So now
that's one of the reasons why I never got one.
Right. So now they use the same charger everybody else use it, and now everybody's acting like they invented it. Even though you guys have been using it for the last 5 years. So here's why I'm saying it, Eli. So everybody in your home that has like a person, a friend or a family member that has an iPhone, and you had an Android, and you weren't worried because you weren't worried about they would steal your cable, because they're not saying cable. Now, they will steal your shit now.
Now I gotta hide my shit now.
Now you gotta hide your shit. Yeah, but at first you're like, okay, still my shit gonna work. So now they can hide your shit. Not only do you have to hide your Android phone, you gotta hide your Xbox controller, your PlayStation controller, because all that shit use the same thing, because they will steal all your shit. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying right there. And last but not least, like I said, iPhones are for sexy people. That's what I'm naming this segment right here. iPhone are for sexy people. Reason I'm saying that, here's where I'm saying it, because this message goes out to my internet crush. My internet crush.
Put peeps, sexy peeps.
Did I? I can't spell P. Whatever. Now that you said that, let's go back to what we're doing. All right. So this goes out to my internet crush. Please get the iPhone 15. I want you and nobody else to get the iPhone 15. Reason I want you to get the iPhone 15 because I'm tired of you posting those blurry ass thirst traps that look like you had Vaseline sprayed all over your damn phone, and you look like you're swimming and look like fog. No, we want sexy pics. We want, the primetime shit. So show off your sexiness. Get the iPhone 15 because the iPhone is made for sexy people. Jake, what you got? The new iPhone extra inch to your.
Oh, we have a policy on dick pics. We've said this before.
I forgot. What's the policy on dick pics? I forgot.
Are you a male porn star? If the answer is no, do not send a dick pic.
We don't know. We don't know what Jake does in his spare time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yes.
So nobody but Jake send dick pics.
I must admit I'm not privy on my male porn stars. So Jake could be
like the most famous porn star in the world. We don't even know because we don't.
Jake Diggler, fucking Jake Diggler. Jake Jock.
At the time, it works every time.
Yeah.
All right, now keep moving to the next part of the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hopefully, I didn't misspell any other words down here. All right. So next thing, not that one. Next thing we're going to do is go to Mortal Kombat. Now we're going to talk about Mortal Kombat. Now here's the thing: we're going to talk about the Mortal Kombat game dropped either last week or a week before. I can't remember when it dropped. It dropped. That's all I know. It's out. So I didn't play it. Just letting that before. But we're going to review it anyway, because even though I didn't play it, I did watch a Twitch stream of it, and I watched a Twitch stream on IGN. Why? Because IGN is good for nothing else but just watching the movie clips on this stuff like that, because it was in high definition as far as you can think. What was it like? You got all like it was crystal clear 4K stuff like that. I will say this: Mortal Kombat best graphics in any fighting game right now. So it's gonna sell like crazy. But I don't play Mortal Kombat. Now, people that don't follow this podcast don't know much about what I do. I don't play Mortal Kombat because, like I said, I'm a Street Fighter purist. Not because like I rep the Street Fighter set anything like that, but that there's just one rule with fighting games: you can't serve two masters. So if I even start to get good at Mortal Kombat because the combat is so different, I'm gonna say Street Fighter. So I gotta pick my poison. If you're gonna beat me, it's not because I play something else. But the reason I'm talking about Mortal Kombat story mode was because I didn't know how bonkers the story mode was. So apparently, this game is a reboot. Okay, Eli, they crisis this game. This is a crisis. New 52. Oh, yeah. They knew 52 this shit. So apparently Liu Kang became a god in the last game. Rebooted the universe. Made the universe in his image. Did whatever he wanted to do. But somehow Shang Tsung kind of started remembering the old universe. He's like, hold up. I'm not like a piece of shit. I'm actually like a cold ass villain. So he started like whispering in villains' ears and shit like that, and started turning people on each other, and then started getting crazy and shit like that. Like, okay, I wouldn't expect that to happen. But then it gets even crazier because in the last game had two endings, a good ending and a bad ending. The good ending, Liu Kang became a god. But the bad ending, Shang Tsung won. So apparently in this game, Shang Tsung universe still exists. So it's a multiverse game. It's a multiverse. So
like Mortal Kombat versus DC or whatever. Remember that game?
And honestly, I think the Mortal Kombat versus DC game, I think that's canon to this whole like shit. I think it's
there
like,
you go.
Yeah, it's all that. So Shang Tsung and his universe, where he becomes a god, hops over to Liu Kang's universe. He recruits all his people. Liu Kang recruits all his people, and just an all-out war where everybody just fucking fighting. Everybody was kung fu fighting. Yeah. So that's the story mode. So basically and then it turns out that there's a bigger, even multiverse than that. So everybody's a god in a multiverse. Everybody's going nuts, so crazy and shit like that. And that's kind of how they explain how they can kill people and people keep coming back. They'll kill somebody in one universe, but just bring another dude in another universe, bring him over, and there you go. So that's the story. So I just wanted to briefly talk about that. I didn't know how insane it was. It was very interesting. It was about like 3.5 hours. So it's like an action movie. I'm talking about just the cutscenes of the storyline, just the cutscenes. Yeah, just that. So it was like a movie onto itself. So
these games are getting like, as far as like story mode, they're getting pretty long.
Yeah, Oh yeah, they're longer than movies. That's what I'm saying. Like this was the Snyder cut, you know. Some shit like that. So it was just that long. So I was just sitting there watching it just on IGN's Twitch stream, just like that. Bypassed all the combat shit like that. Now I will say this: I might actually look into the combat. I might actually get this game if it goes cheap because I watched a tournament this weekend with Sonic Fox and Waka Flocka Flame. You know, the 2010 rapper. Well, Sonic Fox beat him blindfolded. Because he was playing a guy that was blindfolded. Yeah. So he beat him. I thought this was pretty fun. The combat looks more fun than the other Mortal Kombat. Because that's something I never really liked the old Mortal Kombat fighting style. It felt like too stiff like that. This feels like that also, but I feel like they got some other stuff in it that maybe, you know, I can get into it. Now, I'm not going to judge what the gameplay is like that. Because with a fighting game, you can't judge in a week or 2 weeks or even a month. Street Fighter 6, we're still breaking that shit down. We still finding out things and here and there, stuff like that, what can do like that. So we're going to wait to see what Mortal Kombat fighting capabilities can do. And we'll kind of go from there. But yeah, that's all I got. Like I said, definitely check out Mortal Kombat campaign mode. Either play the game or I will send you the IGN Twitch stream and you watch from there. Whatever you want to do. I'll put the link in there.
Yeah,
so,
I will probably eventually get it when it gets cheap.
When it gets cheap. But keep in mind when it gets cheap.
Like 2 years from now.
Yeah, but they're going to start adding all kind of other DLC.
Who's the extra characters?
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
That's it?
No, it's more. Peacemaker, Omni-Man, Homelander. By the end of the game. Yeah. Okay. It's some more people in the game. More evil Superman people also. But yeah. They're not released yet. They will be down the road. They got to give you a reason to buy all that shit. So yeah. So that's what I got. So like I said, and I already know Mortal Kombat is going to be the best-selling fighting game of this year. That's because they always are. That's just what they do. So that's all I got from there. So we can move on. We can move on past it. I just wanted to briefly bring
the only guy I play with is Sub-Zero.
He's on the game. And that's the thing I do want to say that also because they changed everybody's backstory. So now Scorpion and Sub-Zero brothers now. I don't know if that was a thing, but they
were. They always were brothers, weren't they?
Were they? I don't know.
And Sub-Zero was the bad guy, was the evil brother.
Who's the bad guy now? Yeah, Sub-Zero's still the bad guy. He's a dickhead. He's a dickhead in this game too. And all the evil ninjas run with him and stuff like that. Scorpion is the good guy, but they got their own thing while everything else is going on. So everybody got their own backstories and shit that they be doing stuff with. So yeah. Moving on past this. Now I'm going to give it to you, Eli. Like I said, I was going to give you time. Give you time to talk about it. Yeah. I know. Yeah.
Okay.
I know it's on the spot, but
yeah, Ahsoka, the newest episode of Ahsoka dropped this week. We finally get to see Thrawn and Ezra show up. Yay!
Were you excited? Were you butt clenched? But
I actually really enjoyed this episode.
What?
I did. Yeah, I was basically I thought Thrawn's introduction was cool. They got what's his name, Lars Mikkelsen or whatever, the guy who actually does his voice in the Rebels cartoon.
Yeah, and apparently that's Matt Mikkelsen's brother, like real life brother. Yeah. So I thought they gave him a really cool entrance. I thought it was really cool what he's been doing this whole time. He has been in league with the Night Sisters, or the Night Sisters. Back to in the Clone Wars, they established Dathomir, which was this like goth planet that was like very powerful in the dark side. And these witches, the Night Sisters, actually sort of used dark magic through the dark side of the Force, and they were able to. That's how they were able to bring back Darth Maul. Darth Maul was a Night brother, and his brother Savage Opress. So yeah, they're like witches, and he's in like the Sisters of Fate, basically. Yeah. Like I said, Clone Wars is a great show, but if you don't want to sit through 7 seasons, the Night Sister trilogy is a really cool story arc. If you want to get the backstory on the Night Sisters and the Witches of Dathomir and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, this is echoing Heir to the Empire, the Thrawn trilogy of books that came out in the early 90s, which was supposed to be the first sequel to the Star Wars trilogy. Timothy Zahn's Thrawn trilogy, the Heir to the Empire books, takes place 5 years after Return of the Jedi, and it deals with
Luke and Leia and Han rebuilding the Republic. And Thrawn was the big bad guy of that story arc. And he basically he gathered together an Imperial fleet. He had Joruus C'baoth, I think his name was. I never knew how to say his name because it's spelled really fucked up. It's a Star Wars name. But Joruus C'baoth, he was like a dark Jedi clone. And that was like his sidekick. So I think, Filoni is borrowing from these legacy novels and legacy canon where Thrawn, instead of Joruus C'baoth, who is this Jedi clone, this dark Jedi clone, Thrawn in the Ahsoka series has the Night Sisters, helping him with his magical force shit, and they also introduced a weird looking stormtrooper named
Hold
I
up.
forget his name.
I got him. I don't got him.
Yeah.
I got him. Here we go. No,
those are the
Night Sisters. Night Sisters.
Yeah.
No,
There's Thrawn.
I don't have him. Damn it, my bad. I thought I had him. I thought I got him. I didn't get him.
Yeah.
Enoch is what his name. I remember his
Enoch.
name.
Yeah. I mean, he there's theories about him being some sort of a
There we go.
like zombie or something, because the Night Sisters are there you go.
Yeah,
look at
I
this
got
shit.
him. Yeah,
I don't. Oh, go put him back up.
Okay, so he's not a thing. He's not.
He's a brand new character.
Okay.
My first reaction to him was like, "What the fuck is this Caligula bullshit?"
Right.
But I guess it's supposed to that face is supposed to be like a Night Sister's face, which doesn't make sense to me either. But he kind of reminds me of I don't know if you remember Excalibur, that movie Excalibur about
from the 80s, Liam Neeson
from the 80s and shit.
Yeah.
Mordred, King Arthur's son, his bastard son, with his sister. Mordred, King Arthur and Morgana's son. When you think about it, the Star Wars, story arc kind of borrows from Arthurian legend.
Yeah, I mean, unapologetically, they do that.
Yeah. So in Excalibur, Morgana, King Arthur's sister, who was a witch, disguises herself as Guinevere and bangs Arthur. And then then she has a son named Mordred who's evil and tries to take over the kingdom. And at the end, King Arthur has to fight his own son, Mordred. Anyway, Mordred had golden armor that looked just like that. So I thought that's what I thought of. I loved anybody. Hey, Excalibur is an awesome movie. I watched it in high school English class, stoned. I remember being in the alley behind my school, smoking the weed, I got to get to Glasser. We're watching Excalibur in English today. But anyways, that's what that Enoch guy reminded me of. But they're saying there's theories because the Night Sisters are sort of like necromancers, that this is a fleet of zombie stormtroopers or whatever, or ghost stormtroopers.
Okay, so that's a fan theory. I thought that was just fact, everybody just.
There is a story. Well, there's a few of them. Even in the Clone Wars, there's a zombie Clone Wars arc but there were worms. There were these worms that got into the clones and they became undead and they were zombie clone troopers and shit. And there's also the Death Trooper novel. So that there is stories in the Legacy universe where that references that. But yeah, but the Night Sisters do have these sort of these magical powers that sort of reanimate bodies or whatever, or can keep bodies alive, so to speak, or whatever.
Okay.
So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. And then of course, we finally get to see Ezra.
Right,
Ezra, who is one of the most illest Jedis ever now,
Praise Jesus.
Yeah. And it was kind of a bittersweet reunion between him and Sabine. In the Rebel series, Ezra had the hots for Sabine the whole time, and she always kind of blew him off, because he was younger than her. He had a crush on her, so there's always that tension, and she was always a few years older than him. But then you can tell throughout the series that she misses him, that she's always sort of, Mrs. Ezra, and that's, and the fact that she may have had feelings for him too. So I understand why Sabine is doing what she did, as far as like, helping, what's these new Jedi, these dark Jedi, and the what's her name, Morgan something, helping them,
Halen Bane and Hottie Shotty, whatever. I can't remember their names. I remember they look like
Scotty Too Hottie or whatever. Anyway, I can understand why she's like sort of aiding the bad guys. You know what I mean? Because she misses her friend, someone she may have had romantic feelings for, but she probably might have, brushed them to the side because they were fighting a war. You know what I mean? They didn't have time. They didn't have
no time for love to bloom on the battlefield.
Yeah, they're too busy whipping ass. So I really enjoyed the episode. I thought it was really cool. As a Rebel fan, it was nice to see, these characters I've been waiting to see finally show up. I thought
I was expecting
really
to
cool.
shit on this episode. I really was.
No, I'm like, I think, like, I'm finally getting, like, my beef with these shows have always been the pacing and the storytelling angle. Like, let's move things forward. I think they stall a lot to get to sort of divert in directions just to build other shows. Like, we just stay on plot, please, and get to it, So that's what I was waiting for. The trip down Anakin lane, I was like, I'm not going to start bitching about Anakin. But no, we're finally moving forward, and that's what I was waiting for. And I felt, and I thought Thrawn's entrance was cool. The Chimera, his Star Destroyer, that's been referenced in the books and comics and on Rebels and stuff. We finally get to see his Star Destroyer in live action, and he's got some weird gold plating on it, like he's done repairs. Whatever universe they're in, he's doing repairs on it over there and shit. So he's been busy, he's building up his army and shit. So, and that's what I think they're doing now. With the introduction to this new universe, they can stay there. And
might as well, just stay there.
And fuck the Skywalker shit. Just bring us something. Take us off in new directions. This is what this franchise. Yes, this is what this franchise has needed for decades. Get away from the or the Skywalker legacy, the Skywalker saga, and just bring us in new directions. And they have this new universe or this new galaxy. Fuck it,
they can play in and do whatever they want. Yeah.
Build a whole new set of stories, a whole new universe. So, I really dug on it. So I don't know. Do you want me to? I can save it for the comics, or I can do it now. It depends.
Knock it out. Go for it.
Okay. So as I mentioned last week, I write for I've been writing for A Tribe Called Geek, and I'm working on my Quinlan Voss article. Quinlan Voss is the native adjacent, or the native, what'd you call him? The native coded?
Yes, race coded.
Yeah.
Yes,
it's a fresh batch of ideas. Yes, Andrew, thanks for listening. Yes, that's what Star Wars is needed, instead of kind of being
taking what's already been done and then stretch it out. Oh, this character that was in one scene of Empire, let's give him, let's just stretch the scene out and explain what he was doing in the bar, drinking and shit like that. Why? Yes, and they shoot him as soon as he gets there.
And we know what happens. We know what's good. Like, that was the thing with the Obi-Wan series. Oh, cool. Well, welcome.
Well, shout out to Andrew Barnes.
Yeah. I know we do this late. We're kind of night owls. We're kind of vampires around here, but thanks for listening. But that's the thing of like the Obi-Wan series. No one would, Aunt Beru and Owen, Luke. None of them motherfuckers were going to die. So there was no tension in that. While there's no stakes involved while watching Obi-Wan, because you know what's going to happen. And with this new galaxy, they it's like you said, it's a fresh batch of ideas and it's new directions we can go in. But anyways, I've been writing this or working on an article on Quinlan Voss, who is a Jedi, and Native Americans have sort of claimed him as one of their own. So I've been reading a bunch of old Star Wars Legacy comics with Quinlan Vos in them, and I stumbled across this story arc called the Infinity's End. So Quinlan Vos is a Jedi who he's a good tracker. So there's your first native stereotype. He's a good tracker. He wears war paint. He has tribal war paint. He comes from like tribal people. He what is it called? His ability. He can read memories by touching something. Like he touches an object and he can, remember who had it or whatever, and get, get memories out of touching any object, so that's how he's able to.
Ahsoka did that in the show.
She did do that in the show.
Yeah.
So in this particular story arc, he goes undercover and goes to Dathomir, where the Night Sisters they have slaves, and they are basically digging out a pyramid looking for a sort of Stargate, the Infinity Gate, which is like an ancient form of space travel before hyperspace was invented. So again, how the series and Filoni is borrowing from, the Legacy universe.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so the Night Sisters, they're digging out these pyramids, trying to open up the Stargate and use this infinity energy to basically wipe out the universe. Quinlan Vos goes there and disguises himself as a slave and basically takes on the Night Sisters. And there's also these like different factions of Night Sisters. There's different like tribal like warfare going on with the Night Sisters. Like they're all kind of out for themselves, and trying to basically fucking each other over. Different tribes are attacking each other, they ride rancors and shit. The Night Sisters are pretty cool. So yeah, anyways, I read this story and it the other day, it's like 4 issues, and yeah, hey, it's got the Night Sisters, the Dathomir, they have these ancient ways of hyperspace travel without using hyperdrives, which is being referred to in Ahsoka, only they're using those whales and shit. So I thought, hey, that I'll do a retro review. So check this series out. It's it's on Marvel, the Legacy Star Wars Marvel Comics, Infinity's End. It's the 4-issue arc with Quinlan Vos and the Night Sisters, duking it out. So yeah, that's about it. 4 out of 5.
Okay. All right, and Eli will drop a link on the Facebook page. So yeah. All right. So anything else you got to add, or
no? I like I said, I really dug this episode. As a Rebels fan, I love the show Rebels, and this was finally what getting to feeding my Rebels fetish.
Okay, because I was ready. Like, oh, here we go.
Now that was last week. I was gonna shit on last week's episode, but we didn't talk about it last week.
Shockingly. You're right. All right. So let's move on to the next part of the podcast. Something else. Hopefully you saw. I don't know if you saw. We didn't discuss this after I mentioned it, but we'll see. TMNT Turtles, Mutant Mayhem.
I did watch it.
You did watch it. Okay. I didn't know. I didn't follow with you. I was just like, if you watch it, cool. You don't, whatever. So, but you did watch it. So what did you think of it before I get into it?
I loved it. I thought it was great.
How
many? I think there's only 2 left of Ahsoka. I think there's
so.
only 2 episodes of Ahsoka.
Well, the way they talk, because Loki starts like very soon. It basically the way they're talking, like they're gonna kind of overlap with each other. Like one. Like Ahsoka and Loki might drop at the same time. Like they might get the same episode the same week or something,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's what's going on. Let's see. And it's so hard to support Marvel. Not Disney also. Yeah.
It's so hard.
What you gonna do? I mean, shit. Wait for Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon. I mean, shit.
Feed the machine,
Right. Unless you create your own comics. That's all.
Yeah. But no, the new Ninja Turtles, I really dug on it. I actually really, I got so much joy out of watching this. I had a smile on pretty much the whole time.
Yeah.
really dug on it. I liked how that their voices were actually kids. Like,
right. They were definitely teenagers talking.
I like the theme of being outcasts and how they didn't fit in or anything. And they were they just wanted to fit in. And, you know, and how humans are assholes and shit. And I like that April was an outcast too. Like she was a little heavy set.
That's why she kind of just
she was
related
like,
them puking on TV and stuff.
Puke girl and all that shit. I thought that was so cool and shit, you know. I liked how they, yes, Andrew, yes, Turtles was awesome. I liked how they kind of revamped the characters too. Like they, you know, how Baxter Stockman was just the mad scientist, but Superfly was a regular character.
Right. Instead of him turning into a fly like he was on a cartoon.
Yeah, and how like he basically it was like a gang war, like a mob war going on in New York City. Only one of the mobs was a bunch of monsters. I thought was awesome. Like Rocksteady and Bebop were just muscle on the monster mob, the monster crew or whatever. I thought that was all cool. So no, I really enjoyed it. I was a little like, okay, I you know, being a Ninja Turtle purist, I wanted to see the Foot Clan and Shredder and more ninja stuff.
Why would they give that to you at the gate?
Yeah,
when they can spread this out. Yeah.
I know, and we got that at the end. We got that little teaser at the end with the Shredder. So no, but I really dug on it. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, it was a good time. It was a really good time.
Okay. So for those that are trying to watch it that haven't seen it yet and want to know how do we watch it, we watched it on Paramount Plus. Funny thing is, when I said it was on Paramount Plus, people were like, cool, like I had to pirate it. Why are you pirating something that's on Paramount Plus? Look, if you're that poor, I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna help you out for a second because Paramount Plus has a free 30-day trial right now. You don't have to pay for it. All you have to do, and tell them I sent you. All you have to do is when you go to the redeem code, put this in. Redeem 30. That's all you got to do. Put in redeem 30. You get Paramount Plus for free.
And we ain't getting shit out of this.
And we ain't getting shit out of this. I'm helping y'all out because y'all are so fucking poor. Y'all trying to pirate some shit that's already free. So I don't know. Why am I ranting over this shit? I don't know. For me, it was the animation.
The animation style kind of reminded me of Into the Spider-Verse in a way. That sort of.
Is it better Spider-Man? No, but that's just me.
Well, not the first one.
Okay.
Into the Spider-Verse is a classic.
Okay. Can I say what I think about this movie now?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I know you was on. I didn't want to, step on your toes or anything like that. Paramount Plus also. Yes, it comes with something. If you get the regular version, you can get a version without a Showtime that is cheaper, like $3 a month. But yes, the version that I'm talking about, the version I'm giving you for free, comes with Showtime. So yes, that's how I watch. What the fuck I watch on there? I don't know, some shit. Showtime got some shit ass shows on there, but still, it's free. Here's what I think about. Yeah, so shit ass shows. Here's what I think about this. I know everybody is high on their horse about this movie. Honestly, this movie made me feel old. That's what it did, man. It just made me feel old. It was so much TikTok Zoomer slang going on, vibe check, and all this shit they were saying. I'm like,
not my Ninja Turtles,
right? And I get it. I'm an old man yelling at clouds. I get it. I understand.
Where's my America?
I thought this was America. This is America. I get it. Because if people like it, that's cool. I was watching it. I almost felt like it did feel like it was a bunch of 40-year-old dudes trying to write for 15-year-olds, which is cool. That's what you're doing. That's fine. I did feel like, because my Ninja Turtles, I felt like when you talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, this movie was more focused on the Teenage Mutant than the Ninja Turtles. I'm more a fan of the Ninja Turtles than the Teenage Mutants. That's just me. So when they go there, I want the ninjas, the Foot Clan, the Shredder, and do all this shit. That's what I go for. I want the Frank Miller parody. That's what I'm here for. But when they try to go so Nickelodeon and Keenan and Kel and basically doing that for this generation, I'm like, okay, I get it. It's not me. Now I'm not saying it's bad. It's just not for me. That's all. Yeah. So but I like it better when they're hardcore ninjas doing shit like that, because we are. I know we're old man yelling at clouds.
Well, even the Mirage comics, they went.
Yes. Okay.
And Triceratops.
I'm glad you brought it up. I'm glad you brought it up.
Fugitoid and those Krangs were that was all.
I'm glad you brought it up because that was a war between Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. That's kind of one of the reasons they broke up. because one of them was Ninja Turtles and one of them was Teenage Mutants, and they kind of war between I want more ninjas, I want more space shit, time travel, multiverse shit, and they kind of clash, and it's kind of what broke them, and the money and porn stars and shit too. But that was the main thing that kind of broke them up. That they
well,
kind
one was old and one was younger.
That too, a generational gap also. So yeah, so it was a lot of things that contributed, and I can see that.
Kevin Eastman was like 10 years younger than him and shit. And he was the one banging porn stars and buying tanks and shit.
Right.
Peter Laird was like already married with kids.
Right. But that's my thing. Like I said, but I understand that every time Ninja Turtles come out, they change something. And you have to. You have to change with the time. You have to keep up with what's going on right now. Like I said, Teenage Mutant Turtles. You can't sell this shit to 40-year-old motherfuckers. You can't.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a crime that modern day teenagers would be on TikTok.
Right.
Like
they were like really, the movie was really selling it to them. And I can't be mad at that. I can't be mad at that at all. I'm just saying, it's just me watching. I'm just like, okay, this shit is really not for me.
Because when you speak of that Nickelodeon cartoon is great. I love that. That's on Netflix. I love that, I thought that was a lot of fun.
And they changed stuff also, like Leonardo was the goofball and Raphael was the leader.
Donatello had the hots for April and
right.
Yeah, I mean, they changed the whole Foot Clan thing has changed. It's all different in there too,
Yeah, they're always changing shit. They just and that's one thing about Ninja Turtles, that you don't really have to like be one thing. And I know a lot of people are mad. Oh, they changed this from the 80s cartoon. Oh, they changed this from the comic. Yeah, they're gonna change shit. I mean, just kind of go with it, And matter of fact, I understand this the Turtles for the new generation, what they're doing. If they want to make Donatello an anime fan, which makes sense. I mean, just what he was. I mean,
in that Nickelodeon cartoon, they were watching like a Star Trek show. There was like a parody of a Star.
Well, that's shameless plug. Just like in this movie when they said Chris Pine was the hottest.
Funny. There's some funny. It's one of my favorite scenes. Not to get off topic.
Yeah,
I digress a little bit, but I remember there's one episode on that Nickelodeon Ninja Turtle show where they're watching like that parody. It's like a Star Trek show that they're all a fan of, and there's like a Spot character, and like the parodies of all the Star Trek characters, and I think one of them's like McCoy, like, we can't do this, man, we can't, and then the Spot character slaps him, and then it shows him just sitting there like this, like crying. And I laughed for like 10 minutes. I don't know. I laughed for like 10 minutes after seeing that shit. It was something so stupid that it was hilarious. But yeah, they are geeks in that show too. So. Yeah.
So I will tell everybody is if you're a fan of this movie, they're making a TV show basically on this movie. That's kind of like basically this movie was a pilot. That's what it was. It was a 2-hour pilot. They come up with a TV show like in 2024, and it'll probably follow up with Shredder in the Foot and whatever else they got going on there. So yeah, that's what's coming on.
And I don't think I've hated. There's probably a couple of movies that I did hate.
That third one sucked. The second one sucked. Fuck Ninja Rap. I know y'all like that shit. Fuck that shit. That shit was terrible. I thought that shit when I was young.
Yeah.
I must be like in some kind of multiverse where everybody thinks this shit is good because this shit is terrible.
They don't use their weapons in part 2.
They can't because they complained about him in the first movie. It was too violent. It was too because they was cursing in the first movie, all kind of shit.
They're using like pepperoni like Michelangelo's using pepperoni sticks as like nunchucks and shit.
Terrible.
But for the most part, I've always, and some of I haven't watched some of them TV shows suck too. But for the most part, I've always kind of been a Turtle fan. The Turtles, I got a soft spot for the Turtles, so
I like them.
I'll always give them a chance. Yes, I will. Oh yeah, the Mirage comics, that shit is my OG. That's gold to me. So yeah, but I always kind of sort of dug on them throughout the years.
Like I said, I didn't say it was bad. I'm just saying I'm not the target demographic for this, and that's cool. That's okay. So yeah. All right. So I got this. I got to talk about this. I don't even know if you watched this. I watched this and I started to text you about it, but I was like, let me watch this first before I text somebody. Because if you don't like it and it sucked, then I'm gonna be blamed for this shit. So yeah, so we're gonna talk about the Continental on Peacock.
Is that on? I want to watch
Yes,
that.
yeah, I didn't know it was on either. It came out Friday.
Oh shit! Yeah, I want to
Yeah.
watch that. Did you watch it?
Oh, I did watch it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna talk about it just a second. Okay, just blank. Okay, that's okay. We like the engagement. We like the engagement, Andrew. All right, so I'm gonna talk about the Continental. For those who don't know what the Continental is, the Continental is actually a John Wick spinoff that is on Peacock, otherwise known as the Cock. Yeah. So that's what's going on right now. The main guy, if you remember the old manager guy in the Continental in the John Wick movies, it's about him in the 70s. But he's a young guy now doing his whatever. Basically, how he took over the Continental. That's what the whole thing is about. So, what do I think about? I hate to spoil it because I know you hadn't seen it, but I got to say what I got to say about it. So, yeah.
Good.
I don't know. Okay, first off, let me explain this. It's a 3-parter, but only one part is out. So, what they're doing is like an hour and a half. This shit was an hour and a half long, and each 8 part will be an hour and a half. So, it's this Friday was the first part. Second part was going to drop Friday, and the third part will drop Friday after that Friday.
Well, now we got topics for the next couple weeks.
Now we got topics. Okay. So we can talk about the Continental. So what did I think about this one? Honestly, I don't know how I feel about it. At first, when I first, like 30 minutes in, I was like, man, this shit sucks. I can't watch this shit. But I kind of got into it a little bit. I think I just kind of watched it, and I was like, I finally got into the characters a little bit. So to me, it didn't suck. But it was just like, sorry. It's definitely John Wick for TV. Take that however you want to take it. So
how's the action? How's the action? How's the fight scenes?
Better than what you normally see on TV, but not John Wick level, even though they try to do John Wick level.
Yeah.
So it's like there, but it's not there. It's like a facsimile carbon copy of John Wick. I don't know. It's like it's trying to be it, but it's not it. Because there is a John Wick-like guy on the show. He's like a Vietnam vet. It's straight out of Vietnam. Crazy as fuck. Does John Wick shit. So he's cool, but he's like barely in it. It's like when he shows up, you know John Wick shit is about to happen. When he ain't there, you just follow him. And this weasel-looking motherfucker the whole time is just like, and he can't even fight. He's just there. Oh, much I love
All
sleep.
right, Andrew.
All right, Andrew, you take it easy.
Yeah,
so that's my thing there. So But I did get into it. I did get into the story once I got into it. I know a lot of people are boycotting because Mel Gibson is in it, like that. Yeah. I don't care. What I'm gonna do? Stop watching Lethal Weapon and shit because he's in it? Fuck it, he's in it. Just go with it. So I don't honestly. I'm too. I don't have time to cancel everybody. I don't have a scorecard for everybody. I don't know what I should and shouldn't watch just because, this person's in it on this song. I can't watch this person in this movie. Kevin Spacey is in this new Call of Duty game. I can't play it. I don't have time for all this shit. I'm just watching shit, and if I like it, that's cool. Amber Heard's a new Aquaman movie. I'm gonna watch it. I don't care. I ain't got time to separate shit. I'm gonna just watch it. So, but if that's you, have at it. I don't care. Mel Gibson honestly was fine in it. He was like, because he was a recognizable character. A lot of these actors I don't know. So when Mel Gibson finally showed up, I was like, oh, finally, somebody I recognize. Okay, he doing his dialogue and shit like that. He's playing a evil bastard, which fitting for him.
Fits,
so, yeah. As one of the OGs involved with this. Yes. Wait, you mean making this or in the show? Because the main character is the manager of the John Wick movies. The guy that gives John Wick all the information, shit like that. Like he's the main guy. I can't remember Prescott or something. I don't know, some shit like that. That's who he is. So I like that. I think I can't really form a opinion of it until I watched the show because it did end on a cliffhanger. Even though it was an hour and a half, it ended on a cliffhanger. So, and I don't know, like you might like it better than I did. I don't know. I mean,
it looked cool. Like I saw the trailer and I thought, that looks cool. So, and I want to watch it, but I didn't know it was on this weekend.
Yeah, like I said, it dropped on Friday, so I hate to spoil it for you. I hate to put a bad taste in your mouth, but just watch it, see what you think about it. We'll talk about episode 2 next week if you give you a chance to watch it. So, yeah. So, that's that. What else we got here? Now to the Vidja Game section. Now, look, I've been talking about this forever. This is my last time talking about it because after this is it. It ain't happening again. We're going to talk about last chance to buy Marvel's Avengers. The game will be delisted from digital sales on September 30th. After September 30th, the game will no longer be able to be purchased anywhere, in stores, online, anywhere. You can't get it. So I'm just letting you know there's a chance. And right now, how much is the game online? $4. The game is $4 right now. When I mean $4, I mean $4 for all the DLC, all the costumes, all the taunts, all the takedowns, everything on there. $4. They give you the entire game. Like I said, let me see if I can give a little bit over there. Yeah, like I said, I recorded. This is my gameplay. I played on there. I can't remember when I did this a couple years ago, so like that. Like I said, you got full moves on there. It's 4-player. You can play it. I kind of just go to training mode and just kind of like fuck off a little bit just to do shit, you know. Give you a little bit of Hulkness on there. I just like this one because he can like smash people together and just smack the fuck out of them. You know, I just like that shit. He's my big bruiser. So like I said, you got a bunch of stuff on the game you can just do even for $4. Even you just play it for 2 days, 3 days, or a week. I promise you will get your $4 worth out of this game. Like I said, I put a lot of hours in this game just breaking down a whole bunch of characters. I don't even think I even made it to Black Widow just because I was having fun with like Iron Man and Thor and shit like that. But like I said,
and again, we're not getting paid for it.
We're not getting paid for any of this shit. I'm giving you free shit. I'm telling you where to get $4 worth of shit.
Cheap shit.
Cheap shit, you know. And I don't get a dime for any of this. Like Paramount's not paying me, Marvel's not paying me, Disney's not paying me, nothing like this. So yeah, to let you know, get it. You got till September 30th to get it. After that, that is it. That's it. You won't see the game anymore. So that's all I got. I'm done.
All right.
I got all in my system. Okay. That being said, can we move on to the next part of the podcast?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like I said, it's Comic Bullies, but we're talking about comic books. I'm going to jump into it. Eli, I'm going to let you go first because I think you got some good shit. Well, actually, you know you got good shit. You tell me what you got.
Okay. Yeah. I will. Yeah. I got some
By
shit.
the way, I like the background. It's like you actually read. You know?
Those are DVDs and shit.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, there are books on the bottom shelf.
Okay.
But all up here is all DVDs and shit, Blu-rays and shit. Okay, well, I will start out with Predator versus Wolverine. This is what y'all were waiting for.
I was gonna get it, but I didn't get it because I knew you're gonna review it.
Yes, we're all waiting for when the Predator or aliens will finally fight superheroes, even though they've done it in DC and Image decades ago.
But that don't count. That don't count. Yeah.
That don't count because the Disney makes it official.
Exactly.
So this is basically it's just going to be a 4-part arc, 4-part issue storyline. This is issue 1. Where Wolverine has had encounters with the Predator. He encountered the Predator back in the 1800s when he was working for the Hudson Bay Trading Company, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So we get like it starts out with flashbacks when he was up in Canada, you know, trading furs and shit and hanging out with the natives and shit. And
Silver Fox doesn't show up, does she?
No, there are natives in this, Athabascan people. They're on one panel. Well, they're on 2 panels. One panel they're alive, the other panel they're dead.
Wow. Okay.
So he encountered them back in the 1800s, and then he realizes that they're back in the modern times, and he's going to go search for them again. So it's a pretty simple story arc. You know, Wolverine is out for revenge against the Predator. You know, but this time the Predator returned with more predators. So Wolverine versus a squad, a whole hunting party of predators. So pretty straightforward. And it is pretty cool. It's pretty cool artwork. My only gripe is they put natives in it only just to kill them. So
that's Wolverine stories for you. They love doing that.
Yeah. I felt like it goes back to our whole checking boxes for diversity points. You don't do it if you're just going to kill them,
Right. And they're going to advertise, we have native representation. Like, no, this does not count. Yeah.
Yeah, especially where they had kids. Like, why did the Predator kill these people? Like, they weren't doing anything. They were just chilling.
Right. Like the Predator normally kills people that attacks them. He just like,
they're so it didn't make sense.
It almost feel like they were just judging off what you're saying, like they were trying to capitalize off Prey.
Yeah. And I mentioned that I actually posted about that, and people were saying, "Oh, it's kind of like Prey." Then, yeah, but in Prey, the natives were in the whole fucking movie,
right?
And some of them natives actually kicked some ass,
right?
Before some of them got killed too, but some of them also whooped ass too. So, and that's the thing. Like, there was only they were mentioned. They show up in one panel. And then a couple pages later, they're skinned alive. They're hung up, and what the Predator does to its prey. He skins them and shit, and hangs their bodies up.
Don't they have they didn't have any poachers in this comic or anything like that? He couldn't skin them.
No, that's what I'm saying. Why? That's what I'm saying. It's one thing to have representation, with people of color in it, but it's another thing to like actually make them like actual characters in the story instead of just use them, instead of just fridging them. So yeah, I mean, if because just don't do it then. Don't get my hopes up high. Hey, there's natives in this book, and then they're dead now.
It's like I always said, bad representation is worse than no representation.
Yeah, just don't. As I said, don't do it. You didn't need to they didn't need to put them in there, and I wouldn't have gave a fuck if there was no natives in this book,
right?
Because I'm used to it by now.
Right, but Prey was a hit, so let's do some shit.
Yeah. So that's my only gripe. Other than that, I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5 just for that.
Okay, it's right there. It's mid, as an intro will say.
Yeah, and this is just the first issue. Not a lot happens. We're just introducing. Oh, Wolverine fought this alien monster back in the day. Now he's going to fight him again. So it's nothing you haven't seen before. It could have been any monster. But it's the Predator, so we got to be
Wendigo.
Yeah. Oh, I also read the new Wolverine issue, and he fights when it's him and the Hulk team up, and Wendigo is in that issue too.
So they're just doing the same story they did back in the 70s.
Kind of, yeah. Hulk and Wolverine, like basically, it's that Benjamin Percy run where there's all these Wolverine clones, and Hulk and Wolverine are going around the world finding all the Wolverine clones. And they're in Canada. Actually, the Wendigo, it's pretty gnarly. I'll pull it up later. But Wendigo like rips Wolverine in half.
Damn. Okay.
But yeah, Predator versus Wolverine, 3.5 out of 5.
Oh, cool. All right. First book I'm going to do is Wonder Woman. We are going to do a Wonder Woman book. Why are we doing Wonder Woman? Because this book was written by Tom King. So he's the guy. Oh, no, I don't think I have the panel. I don't have the damn panel. There's always something, isn't it? Okay, that's cool. Anyway, we're doing the Wonder Woman book with Tom King. This is a fresh reboot of the story. This is like the dawn of DC or whatever you want to call it. So this has nothing to do with any other Wonder Woman runs. This is a new run. We're starting right now. We're going into it. So Tom King is giving you all of his Tom Kingness in this book. So remember Penguin? It's that. Just so let's get to it. Let's go. Wonder Woman #1. So the book starts off with a game of pool. You can see it right there. And they got this big Amazon right here. The dude she was playing pool with was feeling on her ass. She's like, okay, well, you're going to grab me. How about I grab you? And that's how she grabs him. So, yeah. And everybody else in the pool table was like, what the hell? And she's just like, and then everybody else started rushing since she like kicked the shit out of this guy. And it looked like she broke his neck. Like she stepped on his neck or something, crack or whatever. So anyway, break the pool stick on him, doesn't do anything, grabs the neck, and she like, I don't like you, any of you. And then we just see the outside of it. She's kicking the shit out of him, but she's not only kicking the shit out of him, you see blood splurt all over the glass and window and shit like that. And they cut out to it. People are screaming and shit like that. Guys getting thrown out the window. And yeah, that's what's going on in this bar in Montana. So it's all over the news. Amazon has killed 19 men in a bar. And it was only 2 survivors in there, but the 2 survivors were 2 women. So apparently there's like an Amazon serial killer right now. Is that what's going on? So the whole nation is panicking right now because they're thinking that Amazons are starting to wage war on America. So they decided to call a task force. So where's my guy? This is my guy right here. So he gets this guy right here gets a text saying we need you to come in for the Amazon to lead our Amazon task force. So he's with these 2 guys right here. He was like, okay, I just got a text. Yeah, I was supposed to be friends with you guys and get cool with you guys and find out who you really working for. But I got to speed this up because I got to sign to another mission. So that concludes our business for today. And he takes off his glove, which got an iron fist, and shoots both of them in the middle of a restaurant in public. And while he walks up, everybody else in the room screaming and shit because he just killed 2 people in the restaurant. And he just hands the bartender or the manager. He was like, look, I know they're going to ask some questions. All you got to do is just give them this card and they'll send somebody to clean this shit up for you. And they'll probably pay you for your services and you don't have to worry about it anymore. And he hands him the card and his card says Sergeant Steele. So that's the new villain of the arc or whatever, like that, Sergeant Steele. So yeah, I'm bypass that. Don't care. Okay. And now, so they cut to like about a few weeks now. A few weeks have passed. He headed the task force and he's going around collecting Amazons, kicking Amazons out of America. And he has started the Amazon extraction event. I can X. That's what they call X. And they're going around kicking out Amazons, finding Amazons, and telling them you got to leave the premises right now. That's what they call Amazon extraction entity. They really want to do that X thing. They don't want to remind you of ICE. That's the thing. So he's saying like, so, okay, why are y'all still here? And I know you got your adopted daughter in there right now. He like, that's why we haven't left yet, because we have to assign, because we're trying to find a way to keep our daughter, because our daughter lives here, even though we immigrated here from Themyscira to America. They're like, well, when y'all leave, we'll find out what to do with your daughter. Until then, you got to get the hell out of here. So while they're doing all that, the other Amazon, the wife of the team, starts killing some of those axe guys and starts going crazy for Themyscira, for paradise, and they light her ass up. And apparently they have anti-Amazon bullets that go through Amazon, shield and shit like that. And now she's dead. And the wife just saw other wife just saw her wife die, while their daughter just seeing her mom on the ground bleeding out. So that's what's going on with that. And then meanwhile, the government is covering everything up. They're trying to make it seem like it's a peaceful extraction, not saying that they're killing Amazons and not leaving and kicking them out and arrest them and all this shit like that. So we go to the Queen of the Amazons, Nubia. Nubia is like, so what did she have to say about this? Well, I talked to her, Queen, and she told me to give you this. And it's Wonder Woman's sword. She wants you to give the sword because what she's about to do, she don't want the temptation of having a sword with her. So that's that. And so we cut to a graveyard. This is like a month later after this Sergeant Steele has killed like 300 Amazons to get them off American soil. And he's basically telling Wonder Woman, look, Wonder Woman, why are you still here? You're the main one. You got to go. And Wonder Woman's like, I'm not leaving. I am home. I'm not going anywhere. So one of the snipers is trained on Wonder Woman right now, fires the shot, and Wonder Woman blocks it. She's like, I'm not leaving. And you get this big. So this is like halfway in the book, and it's the first time we've seen Wonder Woman. Like Wonder Woman has not been in the book at all, but she's there now. And you got these doves flying with her. Turn a hawk into a dove. We all know the song. Okay. So she's surrounded by.
I don't know that song.
You don't know the Wonder Woman theme song?
Oh, the Wonder Woman.
Turn a hawk into a dove, fill it with love. You know that shit. And change the world.
I thought you were referring to some Billie Eilish shit or something.
No, man, not this time. Anyway, so
shit. I don't know.
So surrounded by ex-soldiers about to get shot, and they say fire, and Wonder Woman goes in attack stance, and before they could even fire the gun, she like flips over them just like that, grabs 2 of them, smacks them. They start throwing machine guns at her. She like doing her Wonder Woman. That shit. I know you know that song. Anyway. Yeah, takes off her tiara, throws her tiara, And while she's throwing it, because she's using that to take out one, like the furthest guy throwing, like shooting machine gun shots at her, while she's beating the shit out of the dudes closest to her. So by the time TR comes back to her, she is already beating the shit out of everybody on there, and is back there. And one guy standing in front of him before he can even fire the shot, bam, smacks him in the face. So put the chairs back on, walking towards Sarge Steel. They're like, okay, now let's talk. And Sarge Steel like, okay, you really fucked up, Wonder Woman. You just assaulted federal officers. She's like, yeah, after you shot me, you shot at me. She's like, I don't remember anybody shooting at you. She's like, you remember anybody shooting at me? And then she don't even look at the sniper behind her. She just throws the lasso while she's talking to this guy. She's like, wait a minute. Are you lying to me, Wonder Woman? Like, have you not done any research on me at all? And while she's dragging the soldier to him, the soldier's just like spilling his guts right now. He told me to do it. He told me to shoot you while you were doing it, because he got the lasso of truth on him. And while she's doing that, he's looking at Sarge Steel like, how about I put this lasso on you and find out what you learned? And Sarge Steel like, you, and we don't hear what he says, but whatever it is, Wonder Woman don't like it, because Wonder Woman says, look, Sarge, we gonna do this dance a few more times before it's all said and done. But one thing you're not gonna do is just call me what you just called me. And that's when she like crushes his hand right in front of him. So, but the thing was, I think it was all part of Sarge Steel's plan, because since she did attack federal officers and they can change the narrative however they want to, now they have a warrant, arrest warrant for Wonder Woman. So now Wonder Woman is public enemy number one. So, but Wonder Woman did put the lasso of truth on Sarge Steel, so now she knows. Yeah, she knows what they're gonna do, and it turns out it's not one of her old enemies like Cheetah or Dr. Psycho doing this shit is going after her. It's a new enemy called the Sovereign. So who is the Sovereign? The Sovereign, turns out, is the King of America. Yes. So apparently all that bullshit that, I always say, well, I ain't gonna put it on me, but we always say how the government really has like one person pulling all the strings. The president is a puppet. All our government are just put into place, and they're just pretty much just doing this one wheel, this one guy. That's what it is. Why? Because he has the lasso of lies. To be continued. So
this is the man.
This is the man.
That's
the
guy.
Man. The man is holding me down. The man doing this shit. That is the man. That's the man we're talking about. That's who he is. He's been the guy the whole time. So yeah. So, like I said, Tom King on Tom King. It's funny that, like I said, that's all there is of Wonder Woman in this Wonder Woman story. Like, it's all about all this other stuff going on, all this political intrigue. And there's a whole other story, like, because basically I didn't get into it, but the whole thing about like the men of America are saying they don't like the Amazons because of their way of living, because of how they think that they're better than other people, and they don't have traditional values because they don't have men in their lives, and they're coming to destroy our. It's all this right wing, left wing. It's all there. It's all there. It's interesting to be in a Wonder Woman book, because Wonder Woman books use like wacky, crazy shit going on, the magical bullshit. Now you got this all political intrigue shit going on up there. I'm curious to see where it goes from here. So, like I said, it's like almost like Tom King wanted to write this for a Black Label book. They're like, nah, make this the real book. Like, okay. So, yeah, that's what I got. But no, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. I like this, even though I wish there was more Wonder Woman in this Wonder Woman book. But go with it. So, all right. Cool. So, yes, what you got?
I guess I'll do Nightwing 106. Back to DC.
Back to DC.
They're taking the summer off. Yeah, so it's been a while since I read a DC book.
No more Night Terrors and
Night Terrors took up all my DC books pretty much. So I'm back to reading Nightwing again. So this is the new story arc. Basically, we start out back when Nightwing. It refers to, we get a flashback back when Nightwing lost his memory and all that shit, and he was hanging out in that bar.
Rick Grayson.
Yeah, something like that. And the bar, he knew this bartender named Beatrice or whatever. I forget her name. But he gets a package and that addressed to Nightwing like years ago. And then we come back to present day time, Dick is like, oh, there's a package for me, but it turns out it has somebody else is after it. Then we cut to Heartless, the new baddie who's ripping out people's hearts, and he's working with Tony Zuko and shit. He's trying to basically take over Bloodhaven and shit. It'd be like the new mobster in town. So they go raid this this underground like pirate bar or something, because they're after something. And so Heartless and Zuko go there, but it's gone. Whatever they were after was gone. And then Nightwing shows up with the cops, and oh shit, this looks like Heartless, blah 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 blah. So they're transporting the bodies, and Nightwing notices that the ambulance goes off course, so he starts following the ambulance. And then he goes into the ambulance. It turns out all the ambulance and the driver, the paramedics are all like thugs. So he goes into the ambulance and he gets locked inside the ambulance, and he has a whole fight scene inside the ambulance, kind of like Cap in the elevator,
Okay.
So they fight in the ambulance. He's kicking all their asses, and it turns out the ambulance ends up driving onto a ship. And so they're on a ship, they're on a boat, and then he gets out of the boat, and he's like, gets out, and this is the not the ocean master. What are they called? The ship master or something. I can't remember the villain's name, but it turns out it's Beatrice, that bartender he knew. She's all in
she's
a pirate.
She's a bad guy.
Yeah, she's all in the pirate outfit and shit.
Oh damn.
He's like,
okay.
Hello, Nightwing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it ends. So kind of like this is kind of goofy. Like, he's some sort of pirate treasure. He's modern day treasure hunt.
But it still feel like it's back to basics. No Titans showing up and shit like that.
Titans were
Beast
in this
Boy
book.
And
he's in Titan's Tower. He's all that. So it was fun. I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5. It's like it's a little on the goofy side, but yeah, it's like a pirate intrigue in Bloodhaven. So yeah.
Okay, I deal with it. Okay. All right. So next book I'm going to do is Catwoman number 57. Yes, girl power. Girls get it done.
I read this.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know if you're going to read this, and I almost bypassed this until I realized that. Oh yeah, it's another Gotham War book. I forgot. That because I guess they skipped last week or something. I don't know what they did. So
yeah, I picked it up because of the Gotham War thing. So
yeah, the Gotham War thing right there. So like I said, this is part 3. I thought this was gonna be like some kind of cyber thing. I didn't know it's a direct continuation of Gotham War. So we'll just get to it and just see what we got from there. So yeah, so we got picking up right where we left off, where Vandal Savage turns out he's the one that bought Wayne Manor. Batman's about to smack the shit out of him. Of course, he can't because Vandal Savage is like a 1,000,000-year-old Neanderthal, and he just grabs him. He's like, "No, Batman, you're not gonna fight me." Like back in the day, I would have, villaged and invaded your mansion to take what I wanted. But now I can just do it with a simple phone call. Matter of fact, Batman, if you ever try to punch me again, I'm gonna call the police and just have them arrest you. That's all I got to do. I don't even fight you for this. So he just leaves, and that's it. And now Batman's at his parents', grave, crying, "Mother, father, I failed you. They took me good." And while he's doing all this, Catwoman's just like, "Yeah, he's losing it. He's out of control." But she's not right. That's really what you want to say, but she's not gonna say it. Now, a good thing I do like about Catwoman is that she's not gonna tell Jason. She's not gonna use this against him. She's gonna cover up that Batman's losing his shit. So she like, yeah, I know he's losing it, but that's okay. But anyway, recruit the team. We got a mission to do. So she recruits the team and tell them they're going to go to some party tonight, and they're gonna rob them, and they're gonna use Red Hood to rob them because Catwoman heard a story that he's really good at carjacking, because the very first time Jason Todd ever showed up in a Batman comic, it was when he was jacking the wheels off the Batmobile, which is supposed to be not possible, but he did it when he was like a 12-year-old kid. So she like, well, you must be good at Grand Theft Auto. So teach him how to do Grand Theft Auto while I do some other shit. While she's whipping her people with a cat whip like that. And she goes and does her thing. Meanwhile, this is what I like right here. I at first I didn't know what the hell was going on, but it's like a Catwoman thing right there. And then Batman kind of sees the question mark. So he does like detective mode. And he sees like a Riddler trophy.
Game.
In the game. He sees a Riddler trophy. Like, what the fuck? So he breaks through it, but it turns out Riddler's not there, but Riddler left a mission for them. Riddler wanted him to find that. And he gives him a riddle. He just like, okay, Catwoman's going to be at 2 places. She's going to be doing this and doing that. And Batman, of course, can figure out the riddle because I guess Riddler made it a little bit too easy. I guess it's the play of the Turing dot. Yeah, the Turing dot. But it's not an opera tonight. It's a ballet tonight. So obviously, Catwoman's going to be there. So why is Riddler helping out Batman? Because Catwoman stole all his goons. So he like says, I don't have any muscle. I'm going to use Batman to be my muscle. So smart plan. Meanwhile, they go in there, and while everybody's going, Jason's telling everybody, okay, as soon as they go inside, take the cars, take them to this certain place, and they'll use them to sell them, and you'll all get rich. And he gets them out of there. He like, don't worry, I'll wait behind. And as soon as they leave, Jason's just like, I appreciate you waiting for the students to leave. Because don't you hate it when the students think you suck now? Because he knew Batman was there the whole time. So he puts on the mask, and they go, and then, they start doing the whole thing. Batman's like, Jason, you're better than this. You have great potential. I don't want you back on the streets. And Jason's giving the whole thing like, okay, enough of this condescending potential, and you didn't live up to it. I'm way too old for that shit now. So stop talking to me like I'm a 12-year-old, So but at the same time, he's just a distraction. That's all he is. While we're going there, Catwoman is on the inside of it, robbing everybody of their jewels and shit like that, while they're outside getting robbed of their cars and shit. And that's when she's reminiscing about how things could be different between her and Bruce. But while they're doing that, that's when Vandal Savage shows up. Where is he?
Again.
Oh, no. Vandal Savage shows up again, because I remember it's a Catwoman book. Anyway, the same thing we talked about again. Batman snatches off. And that's when I think what they're not outright saying it, but Jason isn't fighting Batman. He's fighting Zur-En-Arr. Like, the more they're fighting, the more Zur-En-Arr is taking over, even though they don't just straight up say it. Because, like, Zur-En-Arr refers to the Robins as his soldiers, but Batman doesn't. But he keeps calling Jason his soldier. And he's doing crazy shit like yanking him off the bike at, full speed. So while they fight again, Batman just, like, stops fighting and just chokes the shit out of him and puts him to sleep. So did he stab him? Oh no, yeah,
he like tranquilizes him.
Yeah, okay, he didn't just he tranquilized him. Okay, that's how he put him down. Okay, I didn't catch it the first time. All right, so meanwhile, and Catwoman is talking to Nightwing, and Catwoman's like, okay, how the hell do all you bat people know where the hell I am? I must have a leak. Did Jason tell you shit like that? And Dick is just like, no, this is your favorite play. I mean, it's your favorite ballet. I was here with you the first time you went. Bruce took me and you together. And we had a talk, and you told me it was your favorite ballet. So that's how I knew you were going to be here tonight, because I remember that. And that's when Cat was like, Dick, why are we fighting? You're like, why are we fighting? Just think about that. Why are you doing that? So and then he leaves, and they said they don't fight. They don't get into it. He just leaves. That's it. While they're on the dance floor, that's when Vandal Savage shows up. He was like, if you were married to Bruce, I would have took you too along with the house, And basically telling him, like, you might want to join me, Selena, because you don't. You're going to have a whole lot of friends that won't be your friends shortly. So you might as well join me now if you don't join me later on, And she's like, no, I'm not doing that. And then she walks off, and that's it. You're like, okay. So Jason wakes up, and he doesn't realize, and that's when Batman's telling. Now, honestly, I think Batman's back. I think Zur-En-Arr's going to Batman's back. Now, that's what I don't even think he knew what he did. I think that's what's happening. Yeah, that's why Jason started to realize, okay, yeah, he's cracking up. So, and that's when we realize, yeah, he's trying to get in contact with Celine's trying to get in contact with Jason. Can't get in contact with Jason. Trying to get in contact with Marquise. Can't get in contact with Marquise. Her number 2 lieutenant. And the reason she can't get in contact with Marquise, her number 2 lieutenant, because Marquise is on the phone with Vandal Savage, her father, because she's not Marquise, she's Scandal Savage, one of Vandal Savage's many, 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 many kids. And she's been undercover the whole time spying on Catwoman. Why? I don't know. I guess we'll find out later on. But yeah. So Vandal Savage, it's a whole nother plot going on. Why? Because why is Vandal Savage here? Why is Scandal Savage here? Why is any of his kids here? We could just have just a simple Civil War Gotham style story, but we got all this Justice Society shit going on. So when next Darkseid gonna show up? I mean, what the fuck? So yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Like I said, I was really excited for this. Now I'm like not anymore.
Right,
because I was really, like I said before, I'm rooting for Selena,
right,
but now it's like getting away from her. It's not about her anymore, and we're not seeing her shine and be a badass versus Batman, which is what I like to really see.
hell, she was barely in this book, and it's her book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're all with this Vandal. Now they're gonna team up and go against Vandal Savage. I'm like, I don't fucking care now.
Right, and that's how they're gonna get back together and make up and also like that. I know. I want them to be on bad terms.
That was an interesting story where Catwoman did accomplish what Batman never could.
Right.
And
at first I thought they were trying to almost play it like, okay, maybe Catwoman put Vandal Savage on Bruce. Like, no, she don't even know why he's here either. Like, he's just here. So.
And his pride and ego is the reason why he won't let it go.
Right.
And
which Jason says that. Yeah, like, yeah.
So I'm not into the whole what's his other Zernar thing.
Zernar and all this stuff. He's crazy.
I really never liked that. I never like, it's
even when Grant Morrison bought it back, and
it's like that it gives Batman an excuse to blame it on another personality. No, it's your fault. You're this way, motherfucker. Don't blame it on some split personality shit. No, you're a dick.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm not into that. And I'm not into the whole Vandal Savage. Now his daughter's involved. I'm like, I don't know, man. I liked it a lot better when it was just, no, Catwoman is basically running Gotham the right way.
Yeah, it's too
Batman
many
don't
moving
know what
pieces.
to
Too many moving pieces, yeah.
Yeah. And Batman don't know what to do with himself now. Because the reason why he needs to be Batman is because of crime. And Catwoman basically did what he never could.
Right.
And he don't know what to do with himself. And that's that's the story I want to see.
Right. They could have explored whether or not Catwoman is doing this really to save Gotham, or is she being petty? Yeah. Because she kind of wants to hurt him without hurting him. Like, since you got to be Batman, I'm gonna take Batman away from you.
Yeah.
But they're not exploring that. No.
Or she's doing it out of like some, like she actually deep down she cares about him, and I'm gonna do this for him.
Right, because he thinks he needs Batman, but if she finds a way that takes Batman away from him,
and she shows him like, no, you really don't. I'm showing you that you do not need to be like this, and that's more of a romantic side. That's like actually romantic when you think about it, But no, let's Vandal Savage and his kids.
Cause
yeah. So, yeah. So
I'm gonna see where it goes. What's my score on this one? 3 out of 5. Honestly, this really almost felt like filler. Like, I felt like if I were to reread this whole thing, if I was just to skip this one book, I feel like I wouldn't miss it. Because we already saw Batman and Jason fight already, like the issue before this. And like they're pretty much saying the same shit before.
Yeah. Unless you read the next issue and it's Vandal Savage and his whole family.
Right. More kids pop up and shit like that. Vandal Savage uncle, Vandal Savage nephew.
Oh no, Jason Todd was his son all along.
Right.
So yeah.
All
right. I'll do Titans number 3, is it?
Okay, let's see.
Yeah. Again, Tom Taylor. So this is picking up the last issue before Night Terrors, remember Titans took the summer off. So they're battling the Church of Blood and Brother Blood. He's got his new cult going.
He's back. Okay.
He's sort of rebranding the Church of Blood as like sort of like this religious group that is out to save humanity. They want to leave Earth because humans have fucked up Earth, and they want to find a new planet for humans to live on. And Tempest is actually on his side. So, of course, the Titans don't believe any of this shit, so they go and raid his church in this issue, and there's this whole blood sacrifice ritual going on.
I'm trying to catch up. Tempest is Aqualad, right? But not the black one, the white one.
Yeah, Aqualad.
Okay, all right. I'm
the white, yes, okay. white Aqualad.
Right.
So yeah, they show up to the church. There's this ritual going on. Look like they're about to sacrifice somebody. The Titans move in. They start fighting everybody. Their followers get like there's this big giant pool of blood that they all jump in and get some sort of superpowers. And the Titans are all fighting all these like cult members with blood all over them and shit. Pretty gnarly, like a Gwar show. But it turns out that it looked like Brother Blood they had them all tied up and shit. And he's like, yeah, I am not down with this. I don't approve of this. This is like another sect of this movement that I don't approve of, and blah, 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 blah. You know, I don't want any of this to happen. I don't want any blood sacrifices happening. I'm still all about saving humanity and all this shit. So they end up taking off to go chase somebody. But at the end, they're also talking to Tempest, like, hey, Tempest, are you still down with this church? He's like, yeah, man, I still agree with these views. I'm still a part of this cult, you know? So they leave, and then it shows Brother Blood and Tempest in the same room. It's like, okay, yes, they are buying our story. And then I don't know if you can blow this up. And then Tempest opens his mouth, goes up to Aqualad, and there's some fucked up weird worm shit coming out of his mouth and going into Aqualad's mouth. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So Tempest isn't under some kind of control. So
it's a cult. So yeah, it's
So
it makes sense, but yeah.
Yeah. So no, this was cool. I give it a 4 out of 5. Definitely doing a comment on, you know, trying to, you know, make people who are in a cult or following or believe in certain things, you know, trying to talk some sense into them and how difficult that is.
Because basically they've been infected by whatever.
Yeah,
you know.
that they believe so much in this idea that they're willing to give up everything for it, and which is sort of telling these days.
Social commentary.
Yes.
Social commentary.
Yes. So yeah, 4 out of 5. This was cool.
Okay. All right. So my last book, I'm doing Uncanny Avengers #2. I don't know where this book, because this book just disappeared. I don't know when the last time we reviewed the other Uncanny Avengers book, but last time basically X-Men Avengers have formed a team, not of all the members, just a few select strike force handpicked by Captain America. And Captain America got his ass beat by Captain Krakoa. I can't say that 5 times fast. And that's where the book left off. So let's start off right here. Okay. And we will explain why Rogue is putting his hand or hurting her hands on Captain America's shield. That's going to play it later on. So it starts off Captain Krakoa. I had to say his name. Just got it. Like I said, Captain America got his ass beat, broke his arm. Krakoa, yeah, it's his tough saying this guy's name. So he's about to, you know, put the finishing blow on Captain America, and that's when he gets hit by Black Widow, who wasn't a part of the team in the first book. She just showed up. She's just here, and she has a sniper rifle, you know, perched on top of a bunch of bodies of dead Orca soldiers, which I thought was pretty cool. Also, like she took all that time to set that up so she could make the perfect shot, you know. And she was like, "Sorry, Cap, my aim was off a little bit. I meant to shoot the guy in the jaw, but it's okay. I'm playing one more shot. Just hold him down." While they're doing that, he tells Quicksilver, "Go while I'm dealing with this guy. You go get the other guys to find out what they're here for." So he smacks the hell out of one of the Strucker twins before he keeps going. Goes there, runs into the base, and he finds them stealing a nuclear warhead. So before he can smack the shot at him and stop them, they hit him with tear gas, which takes him out. They headbutt him, they gun butt him, and he's out. So Quicksilver is that easy to take out. So, okay, all right. So they drive off with a nuclear warhead. They aboard their ship. Meanwhile, the Mutant Liberation Front, you know, who was made by Captain Krakoa, I gotta say his name slow, otherwise I'll fuck it up. And they beat the shit out the X-Men. I'm sorry, who is books again? Avengers? X-Avengers? Uncanny Avengers?
Uncanny Avengers?
Whoever. They beat the hell out of them guys. And oh yeah, and Deadpool shows up. I'm gonna beat your ass, Captain Corsage. And he just says, "Shut up, clown," and then just shoots some shit at him. And just takes out Deadpool like he's nothing. And then they float up to the X-Men jet, which they stole, if we remember, called the Thunderbird. You know, and he's like, "Okay, X-Men and Avengers, whoever you no, just the X-Men." He's like, "Next time you show up, swear allegiance to Captain Krakoa, or I'll beat your ass again." And they fly off, and they say, meanwhile, Black Widow hops in a old Quinjet trying to get a hot pursuit, and then the Strucker blasts her out the air, and she's done. Oh, but she ejects right before she's out. So, you know, and that's when the ex-Avengers squad show up, and they got one member that didn't get away. And Psylocke is like, "Okay, tell me everything you know before I start chopping off arteries and shit." He's like, "Sure, I'll talk. Humanity first." So he got a cyanide pill, bites his tooth, and he's dead. Yeah. So they're just that crazy. So they go back to the base. And so, like I said, Captain America broke his arm. He didn't have a healing factor like Wolverine and Deadpool, but he will heal in time. But until then, he's got to do something to keep it going. So apparently he has a spare arm that Bucky had laying around the house. So he's using that in the meantime to heal himself. So now he's wearing a shield, throws the shield to see how it feels. He's good. So that way you get a chance to heal and shit. So, and that's when the X-Men show up. They're like, "Okay, Cap, we got something to talk to you about. Yeah, we are taking over the team. You're no longer leader of the Unity Squad." They're like, "Because you got your ass beat and we're not moving fast enough. And we feel like that we can run this team better than you can." And that's Black Widow like, "Okay, yeah, y'all not serious." And Cap just like, "Okay, y'all are talking crazy. I'm Captain America." Like, what the fuck are y'all doing? So anyway, while y'all figure this shit out, whatever y'all trying to do, I'm going to handle the lead I got going on to try to see if we can use it to take down Orcus. And that's when Deadpool is just like, "Oh, man, you mutants are funny." And I thought I was the funny one because all you X-Men do is you get your ass beat. And this Rogue like, "I don't have time for your jokes, Wade." You're like, "What jokes? Look at y'all. Y'all got Mutant Massacre 1, Mutant Massacre 2, all the Infernos. I don't even know what the hell a decimation is, but it's bad. Every time you X-Men turn around, you get your ass beat." Meanwhile, Captain America has led the armies of some of the most popular victories in the multiverse. And y'all upset with him because he got his ass beat once. Meanwhile, the one guy that is on y'all side, y'all trying to kick him off the team and take his spot. Like, think about that for a second. Y'all trying to get rid of Captain America. And y'all just got your ass beat because the Krakoa Mutant Massacre just got slaughtered. He's trying to help y'all out. So, and meanwhile, what we need to do is find out what the hell Captain Krakoa wants with a nuclear warhead. And that's when Orcus is like, "What the hell does Captain Krakoa want with a nuclear warhead?" So apparently he's going off script. They don't even know what he's doing right now. Like, they see him do one thing.
Is that Dead Man MODOK?
That is just MODOK, just regular ass MODOK.
Is he asleep?
Not Brodok. No, he's thinking, contemplating, laughing, and shit like that. But it's just regular ass MODOK with Dr. Stasis. Basically, they don't know what the hell Captain Krakoa is doing. He's like doing all they keep saying is that, "Well, when you resurrected that soldier, you knew he was going to go off script. That's just what he does." So they're still not telling us who Captain Krakoa is yet. But, you know, that's whatever. So anyway, we go to Captain Krakoa's base with the Mutant Liberation Front.
Remind me why Sinister has a spade on his head.
Okay. Because he's not Sinister.
Okay.
There are 4 Sinisters. He's Stasis. He's the real Sinister. The fake Sinister, or so he thinks, is the one with the spade on his head. Wait, is that spade? What's Diamond? Diamond on his head. This the real Sinister. Okay. Yeah. So, or so he thinks he is. We don't know. So, yeah. According to him, but yeah. So anyway, we go to the Mutant Liberation Front. They're eating rats. They're holding up some base and shit like that. And they're just basically planning out their next game plan. Meanwhile, Captain Krakoa is about to take a shower. And the Struggle Twin trying to tell him, "Cap, you can't go in there. My sister's taking a shower in there right now." He's like, "Yeah, I know." He just walks in. And he walked in there with his sister, and he takes him out. So whoever this guy is, apparently we're supposed to know him. So there's gonna be some big reveal. He's this guy, that guy, whatever, you know, like that. And he's just like, while he takes everything off in the shower, he's like, "If you tell anybody my neck grab would be a lot more stiffer than it is right now, you know. And meanwhile, the other circuit twin crying in his sleep while his sister getting banged out in the shower. So yeah, so what's going on next? So Cap's talking to Ben Urich. He's trying to get Ben Urich to run a story on the Bugle, but he can't run a story on the Bugle because it didn't have proof. If you run a story right now, Orchis has the media under their control. They can spin the narrative however they want to. So Cap, give me proof, and we'll figure this out. Meanwhile, Orchis, that nuke, well, not Orchis because it ain't them. Captain Krakoa stole that nuke and buried it under Empire State University, and it has a clock ticking down from 12 to whatever. We continue. So pretty sure Miss Marvel show up in the next book or whatever like that, but that's it. So not quite as action-packed as the first one was. It feels like they're trying to throw in this X-Men drama in there. Who's the real leader of the team and all this shit. So yeah. I think can I guess who I think Captain Krakoa is?
Sure.
Okay. It's Hydra Steve. That's what I think.
No, it's not Peter Parker. No.
Not Peter Parker, not Cyclops or Dr. Doom or shit like that. There's like or
Tony Stark or something.
Tony Stark. Or Red Skull. Red Skull may be back. Maybe. So we'll see. All right. That's all I got. I'm booked out. I'm done.
Really? You didn't read Superman?
No, I had those three. I'm like, I'm good. I have done enough. Did you read it?
I did, yeah. Trying to remember
what you think about it?
So all right.
Let me ask you this. Is Lex Luthor dead?
Is he dead? I don't know.
Because in the Penguin book, Penguin heard on the news that Lex Luthor was dead.
I think he's something. Yeah, I think so. I can't remember.
Okay.
I read it. Was one of the first. I read it like on Wednesday night or Thursday or whatever.
Okay.
So now I can't. And I figured, Leroy, I figured you were going to read it. So.
And sadly, I didn't. I want to talk about Captain Krakoa.
Yeah, but some guy showed up at the end. But I was like, what was that? Was that the John Kent book where Lobo and Brainiac? That's what I thought. I thought this was going to be where Brainiac and shit was in, and it wasn't.
That was Milestone.
Milestone?
Static, yeah, Static and Icon fighting Brainiac.
No, there was a book where like Brainiac and Lobo were like working on, or Brainiac had Lobo like enslaved him or something like that.
It
might have been the John Kent book.
No, because that's that Injustice shit. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
what
and
book
that was like
that?
That seemed a while ago. See, I can't remember because the whole Night Terror thing. Kind of, I haven't read.
Yeah, because everything just went on how it. Shit, now that's messing with me because I know what you're talking about, but it's not. I can't think about what it was. It wasn't the Superman book. It wasn't a Superman book.
Yeah, it wasn't because it wasn't. That wasn't in here.
No, and it wasn't Action Comics. I don't think.
Was it the annual?
It was the annual. I think it was or was it Superman annual?
I can't remember.
I don't know. We'll do a housekeeping thing next week. We'll figure it out. I'll do some digging on it.
Yeah.
Shoot.
I mean, I've read that the New Earth Divers, but that's like it seemed like be about the origin of the kids and how they went into the time portal and shit. So it was kind of weird, and I was like, I'll refresh on that some other time. But yeah, I just chose these three books. So, and I was gonna do that. I did that retro review, so that's why I kind of like kept things like a little lighter. So,
okay,
might have to do what This Geeks and Comics does and do like runner ups or whatever. Or no, what do they do? Honorable mentions.
You're right. Well, I think you just did. This is
my honorable mentions. Yeah.
So you got any other? Well, that's all the honorable mentions.
No, I'm booked out then.
Okay, all right. I guess we all booked out. Okay. Like I said, if you listen this long, give a like, share, subscribe. Like I said, 30 seconds is all it takes for a cup of coffee. You can help us out. So, also check out This Geeks and Comics. Like I said, they always give us a shout out, so we're gonna give them a shout out. Also, they're on the same network as us, so you find us, you can easily find them. Check out Eli with Tribe Called Geek.
Oh yeah,
like I said,
I'm writing for them. Yeah,
he's gonna start dropping them in the group. See where they go from there. So I don't know what we're gonna talk about next week. What, Eli? Next week is October.
Oh yeah,
that's your time. Remember last October? This time last
that's
year.
right. Yeah, you know
Yeah.
what? It's like it's still warm out. Like I'm still wearing shorts and shit. I still had the air conditioner. It doesn't feel like it's fall yet. So I'm
And who said
struggling.
global warming isn't real?
Yeah, I'm struggling to feel like getting to the autumn spooky season. But I watch horror flicks all the time, so I don't know.
Have it, like I said, October is your month. Like I'm
Yeah.
just at that point, I'm just here. Like I'm just
Yeah,
on the
and-
ones and twos. I'm just behind the scenes, you know.
I guess I haven't felt that need to watch my Halloween horror movies. You know, there's a certain group of movies that I like to watch during Halloween, like Pumpkinhead or like Night of the Demons and shit like that, Trick or Treat and stuff like that. But I just haven't Monster Squad. I haven't felt like doing that yet. Maybe because it's still warm outside. You know,
That's cool.
know.
Like we're not gonna force it. We're not gonna force it. We're just gonna just go with the flow and just see.
Like right before the pod was on, I was reading my comics. I had Friday the 13th Part 3 on in the background. So I like watch horror movies all the time. So, but yeah, I'll see what I can do for October.
Like I said, we ain't gotta force it. We'll just see. We'll just see how it goes.
Maybe I'll review different pumpkin bars and pumpkin pastries and shit.
There you go. What's that like? This food news. We're gonna do food news. That's what we're gonna do.
Here's pumpkin flavored ketchup. No, I'm not eating that.
Be like some Fear Factor shit with you.
Yeah.
All right, but check us out next week. We don't know what we'll do. We'll do something. We just know it'll be October. But until then, it's Leroy.
This is Eli.
Talk to you guys next week. Same bullet time, same bullet channel.
I looked at you, you stole my heart. You were all that I anticipated. I wanted you, every part, but I knew love would be complicated. I began to touch, but you would let it. It never seemed to be the right time. I started to give up, down to the limit.